What's going on, you fucking nerds? I am your good friend, Tard Kent, the man of Steelbook. Steelbook Stanislav, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to drink a beer and to talk to you all about some shit that Shout Factory is releasing in the month of November. Some shit, I tell you. About to get wild. It's a good thing I'm in the basement because I'm about to wake my fucking kids up. That's how wild I'm about to get tonight because I got some emotions to share with everybody. So fucking at least stick around until I'm done talking about the Dark Crystal, please. Okay. I'll make it worth your while. I've been in the sun all day. We went apple picking. My girls say they want to go apple picking. That's what kind of father and husband I am. We're gonna go apple picking. What do I care? I'm gonna do LSD. Fucking go apple picking on LSD. You should try it sometime. It's officially fall, you guys. I mean, I'm recording this on the first day of fall, the first official day of fall. I live in New England where it's been kind of very fall-ish for the last couple of weeks with leaves starting to turn yellow a little bit and there's a nip in the air. So I'm sitting by my fire tonight, my fake fire that does not emit any heat and is not a risk of burning my house down because I can't afford to buy another one. I got two right now, and that's as many as I can afford. Let's start talking about Shout Factory and the bullshit they want to sell you. And they do want to sell you some bullshit this month, let me tell you. Some of it's good too, though, but not this first one. This first one is not good. Don't buy it. It's a sudden case of Christmas, and it's coming to DVD. I feel like I did too much LSD out in that apple field and I woke up in 2004. This shit is coming to DVD and only DVD, my friends. This is not a Blu-ray release. This is not getting a 4K. Despite Danny DeVito being in this movie, no, it's a DVD. Yeah, it's a DVD in one of them big old DVD cases that look weird right next to your Blu-rays. This is a brand new production, I might add. So this is not a movie that Danny DeVito made like right before he made Matilda or some shit, circa like 1997. This is not an old movie. This is a movie that he made like last year, right? Like this is a brand new production. It's got Andy McDowell with a gray ass hair. I'm offended by that, first of all. First of all, don't you fucking show me pictures of Andy McDowell with a gray ass hair. I'm not here to shame her, but I'm also not here to fucking fill my mind with Andy McDowell with gray hair. Just for looking at this movie poster, I gotta go watch Four Weddings and a Funeral or fucking Groundhog Day. I need some fucking early to mid 90s, cute as a button Andy McDowell. That's the image of Andy McDowell that I want to take with me to the grave. But I can't fathom why they're not doing a Blu-ray. Maybe because they know ain't nobody fucking buying this shit. This is fuck this movie. This movie is some weird mongoloid. It's like it's ostensibly a Christmas movie, right? It says a sudden case of Christmas on it. Everybody looks like they're 5 minutes away from celebrating Christmas on the cover of that movie, except it's not really a Christmas movie, right? Like it's a sort of a Christmas movie. It says Christmas and they pretend to celebrate Christmas, but apparently the hook of this movie is that this family is breaking up. They don't like each other no more. Guess what? It's called family. Take the kids to the fucking apple orchard, pick apples and drop acid. You'll be a fucking family again, okay? You might have to dose your 13-year-old, but come on. I'm hardly the first father to ever dose his 13-year-old. And it's just one hit. Barely even know. What I'm trying to say is that this family in this movie is breaking up and it's like August or some shit. So of course they're like, hey, we got to celebrate Christmas one last time as a family before we all go our separate ways like fucking hobos in the night, before we fucking Irish goodbye each other and fucking never talk again. It's going to be the last time all of us are in the same fucking room. Let's celebrate Christmas one more time. And everybody looks at the 8-year-old and is like, well, okay, that's a good idea. Let's fucking celebrate Christmas in fucking August. It's July 28th. You know what I want to do? Let's go into the fucking basement and find my fake fucking Christmas tree. And let me fucking sweat my nuts off dragging that fucking thing up the stairs, okay? That sounds like a great fucking idea. To absolutely nobody, no father that's going to have to get up on a ladder and fucking put Christmas lights on their fucking house wants to do that in 95-degree weather with the fucking sun beating down on you. There's a reason I went to college 3 fucking times, okay? It's so I wouldn't have to be a fucking roofer in July You think I want to get up on a fucking ladder? No. And I'm not hanging shit. No, I'm not putting Santa on my roof in fucking August. So I can't watch this movie in August, even though it takes place in August or some shit, because it's got too much Christmas imagery. At the same time, I can't watch this movie at Christmas because it's not actually Christmas. It's a weird Christmas facsimile. It's a Fugazi Christmas. That's what they should have called this movie. Fugazi Christmas. Watch it whenever the fuck you want, or don't. It's a DVD, so it's $7. When you find it at Goodwill, maybe you'll buy it just so you can like hate watch it once. Fucking Andy McDowell with the gray hair. Get the fuck out of here, movie. All right, we're also getting another movie that I haven't really heard of and I haven't really seen. I'm going to try not to talk too bad about it. It's called Bones and All. It's coming to 4K this time. You get a 4K. You, personally, out there listening to these words, you, stop what you're doing. Set down your sensible fall festival beer. This is incredible. I'm drinking a Sierra Nevada collaboration with some German. I can't read this because I'm not wearing my glasses and it's kind of dark. Even though it looks bright, it's kind of fucking dark down here. I can't read shit. Anyway, what I'm saying is put your beer down. Bones and All's coming to 4K, and Shout wants you to give them $36 for a single film on 4K. Is just fucking flagrant. I don't even think it comes with a slipcover. So it's sort of like, give me $36 and you don't even get a flimsy piece of fucking paper to go over, you bitch. You fucking bitch. That's what fucking Shout said to me. Called me on the phone and called me a bitch and everything. In front of my children. What the fuck? This movie starring Timothée Chalamet. I don't know how to say his name. Timothée? Timothy. I don't feel like I should call him Timothy, even though like he was born in New York. Like Timothy would be fine, right? Like, okay, fantastic. He's got French ancestry, so we better call him Timothy. But like everybody's got French ancestry. 85% of Caucasians in America have fucking French ancestry, okay? And I'm running around with fucking fancy names with fucking accent lines above it. It's Timothy would be fine, okay? I don't have a problem with Timothy Chalamet. I saw him in Dune. I liked him in Dune. I haven't really familiarized myself with any of his other work. Maybe he's a perfectly lovely human being and we would get along fine. Fact of the matter is, I don't dig his name. I'm sorry, I don't love his name. I feel like it's a little pretentious. He's got like this pretentious art kid kind of name. Like Timothy would have been fine. Timbo. You know what I mean? Like, let me call you something. Be down to earth with me. Look, we're gonna fucking put a Y in my name. It's Jason now with a Y, and we're gonna put the fucking umlaut over the O or whatever. You know what? It's just Jay. Just fucking call me Jay. I don't give a fuck. I'm your close personal friend. Fucking DM me if you don't believe me. I'll bail you out of jail. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to hear your problems. You can cry on my shoulder. I don't give a shit. I'm not judging nobody. Anyway, listen to how Shout describes this movie. A liberating road odyssey of two young people coming into their own, searching for identity and chasing beauty in a perilous world that cannot abide who they are. And the part that really seals it for me is this world that cannot abide who they are. Like, who they are is just like they're just so out there. Like these people are just so they're like beyond other people. They just stand out in such a way that the whole world, the entire fucking world looks at these two people, those two cocksuckers right there, and is like, we gotta drag these motherfuckers down. We can't let them be out there doing their thing because they're just so different from everybody else. We're just down here and they're just up there. God loves them, so we're gonna fucking those angels about to fall, motherfucker. I don't like that. I don't like the way to describe that movie. I think it was a dumb way to describe the movie. It doesn't make me want to see the movie. And paying $36 for a single fucking film, I don't give a shit if it's on 4K. I don't give a shit if it's on 12K. Put that shit on 12K and worth $36 for one fucking movie. You're gonna give me one fucking disc, one fucking piece of plastic in a flimsy fucking case, and you're not even gonna. Honestly, I'm getting a little heated. It's a little early in the video for me to get this heated. I'm going to try to take it back a notch. I'm going to sip this Oktoberfest because this is not, Sierra Nevada is not letting me down in the way that Shout is. And I bought this shit at Whole Foods and it wasn't nearly as expensive as this goddamn movie is. So I will say about this movie too is I don't know what to do with it. Bones and All kind of does sound a little like, like bones. Like, I don't know, like maybe it's the Lovely Bones or maybe it's like, they're gonna fucking dig them up in the backyard. I don't know. It sounds like this could be like a, like a creepy kind of slasher film. And then, you see the bottom here where the bottom has the, it looks kind of rough, and there's even the blood splatter underneath Timothée Chalamet's face and shit. And is this a horror movie? Is this a slasher? Are they serial killers? Is that why the world can't abide who they are? Because they're like cannibals or fucking zombies or what? I don't know where this movie is going. I don't know what to do with it. And I definitely don't think I want to pay $36 for this shit. So moving on, Hush is coming out in 4K. Hush. This is a movie that Netflix spent 8 fucking years trying to get me to watch this fucking movie. I'm telling you what, every time I turned on Netflix, they would put this shit up in front of me as like the suggestion. And Netflix was like, hey, why don't you and your wife play this movie in the background while you bone on the couch? It was pretty funny. It's like you could track our whole marriage by like how many times they showed this fucking thing and were we boning or not. When it was free, when Netflix tried so valiantly to get me to watch this thing for like 8 years, I was never interested. I was like, whatever, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I mean, unless the girl takes her shirt off, and I don't think she does. This is one of the Netflix things. Like, they don't have enough titty on Netflix. I'm just saying. So I just kept going. I just kept going. And then I was like, let me pop in a movie. Like, I'm Slumber Party Massacre. At least I know the first 30 or so minutes of that are like lit with plenty of nudity. And hey, I'm here for what I'm here for. We trying to get it on and turn on something sexy, or we trying to fucking watch some independent horror film? And I was not about it. So now that Scream Factory wants $35 for one fucking 4K, they want one movie, they want fucking $36. I can go get the fucking Paramount Screams Volume 1 box set for like $58, like under $60, maybe we tax $60. Call it $60. There's 5 fucking movies in there, and they're all 4K. And these motherfuckers want $36 for one fucking movie. They are fucking sniffing their own farts. What the fuck is going on? What in the actual fuck is going on? So with Hush, I mean, yeah, they didn't get me when it was free on Netflix. Now they want money, and I'm like, maybe this was worth it. But I'm actually gonna do the big brain thing, because that's how I roll. I always do the big brain thing. I'm actually gonna wait for this bitch to come back to Netflix. I'm gonna wait for it to go full circle, and that's where I will be at the end, right there by the finish line, high five and Hush, and then maybe I'll watch it when it comes back to Netflix. Now, Hush is not the only Ush movie coming out from Shout Factory in the month of November. We also got Rush. We got Hush and we got Rush. We need a Push, although that's pronounced push, so I don't know. Rush is coming to 4K. Rush. Yes, this is a movie that I forgot existed, and I lived a perfectly happy life without the knowledge that this movie exists. I mean, like, I remember it when I see it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a movie they wanted me to see, but I never fucking gave a fuck about. The best thing I can say for this release is that Shout didn't release it on Blu-ray 6 years ago. So this is not one of those inevitable 4K upgrade things where they want me to buy a movie from them twice. This movie is also directed by Ron Howard. It also costs $36 for one movie. It doesn't come with a slipcover. And so all of that combined is less appealing to me than wearing a condom during sex. All right. If there's one reason to get married, it's not because you knocked her up, right? It's not the 1950s. I don't have to marry someone just because I impregnated them. But you marry them so you don't have to ever wear a condom again. So if you keep impregnating them, it's like, it's okay. God doesn't mind. You know, that's the important thing. There's a Stephen Chow collection coming. This is a little interesting, right? It's not all just me complaining. You thought this was going to be 35-minute video of me complaining? It's not, okay? I've got some things to be happy about too that aren't just chemical substances that alter my perception of the world. Hang on, I'm drinking. It's also the Stephen Chow collection coming to Blu-ray. We're getting a Blu-ray set of 4 Stephen Chow films. They're early Stephen Chow films, like very early 90s. Maybe I think the latest one in this set is either 93 or 94. So we're talking about very early 90s. And I really think this was somebody with kind of a big brain came up with this one, and they're also at least 40. The person that came up with this shit is in their 40s for sure. I can't imagine that this is going to sell as well as some of the other shit that they're releasing this month. It just blows my mind. I mean, Stephen Chow, he definitely had some bona fide hits, here in the United States where it matters because that's where Shout is releasing this box set. He had some hits here. Kung Fu Hustle was probably the biggest one. Shaolin Soccer got a lot of popularity as well. And the problem with that is that was 20 fucking years ago. This Stephen Chow box set is not exactly coming out hot on the heels of Stephen Chow's popularity. Yeah, there are some older people out there that remember seeing Kung Fu Hustle in the movie theaters. I'm right here. I'm in a basement in Maine recording a fucking video for 12 people. Three more, you motherfuckers. I got room for three more, you motherfuckers on the boat. Once we hit 50 people, I'm fucking locking it off. Anyway, get in while you can. These films are, again, like I said, they're very early acting roles for Stephen Chow. So he's not the director, unlike Shaolin Soccer and Kung Fu Hustle, where he had probably a little bit more creative control over the project. With these films, it was very early on in his career, and he's really only serving as actor. So how much creative control he has, big question mark. Also, how similar these films will be to Kung Fu Hustle or Shaolin Soccer or something like that. If you're a really big fan of Kung Fu Hustle, you might say, I want to see these motherfuckers because I love Kung Fu Hustle and Stephen Chow is my boy. And maybe he is. I wouldn't say I blame you, but it's definitely like early Jackie Chan, like Hand of Death, New Fist of Fury, compared to later Jackie Chan in the 80s once he kind of got his own juice and he started doing his own thing. You start watching shit like Dragons Forever and Police Story 2, Super Cop, Rumble in the Bronx. That's a different Jackie Chan joint than New Fist of Fury. And there's no arguing with me on that. So whether or not this falls into the same type of category, whether it's like a new, I don't know, maybe it's different than Kung Fu Hustle significantly, we're just going to have to watch these movies and check them out because who knows? I haven't seen any of them. So, it is what it is. And I feel like this set is probably, I can't imagine it's going to sell too well, but I imagine also there's some old timers like me, maybe you, I don't know how old you are. DM me and let me know. Tell me if you saw Kung Fu Hustle in the theaters, and then I can kind of deduce how old you are. So they went home to Hong Kong, John Woo, all them shits. You remember in the 90s, like them movies was fucking boom, 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 boom. The mid to late 90s, into the early 2000s was fire if you loved Hong Kong cinema, baby. And I did. I do. I was watching Hong Kong cinema before it was cool. I was buying that shit on VHS. I had The Killer on VHS circa 1995. Fucking watch that shit with no pants on when you're 13. Dude, that shit is fucking you want to talk about lit? You want to talk about lit? Y'all don't know lit unless you were watching Hong Kong cinema in the early 90s when your parents went to sleep. You put that shit on the family TV and your little brother came in. It was like, what you watching? I was, shut the fuck up. Don't tell mom. These two dudes about to fucking blast everybody in here with a handgun. Just blah, 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 blah. And my brother be like, fuck, Chow Yun Fat. Oh, shit. I just turned 10. Fucking love Chow Yun Fat. I had Chow Yun Fat themed birthdays. And everybody's like, we love Power Rangers. Like, fuck Power Rangers, dog. I fucking watched Hard Boiled. He shot that man in the face and his blood splattered up. Fuck Power Rangers, dog. I was watching Chow Yun Fat. And my little brother was watching Chow Yun Fat. And my little brother, he was too young. He was asleep. But whatever. It is what it is. 70 did too many psychedelics today. Anyway, I hope they sell more than 10 of these things because it seems like there's probably room for a volume 2. Stephen Chow has made many, many films. And this is kind of like a grouping of his earlier work. They could definitely do some, like 94 to 97. And then, they could go on and kind of build up to, when he retired from acting. I mean, I think they got at least 3 good Stephen Chow sets of his work before he retired from acting. We're also getting a little movie called Born on the 4th of July. It's an Oliver Stone film from 1989 which I feel like that was kind of the height of Oliver Stone's powers. You know what I mean? Like that was, he had enough juice that he could kind of do what he wanted a little bit creatively, but he wasn't like, I don't think he was totally sober yet either. So he was still like lit on multiple different, like burning the candle at both ends, doing a lot of blow, doing a lot of drinking, doing a lot of hanging out with motherfuckers like Tom Cruise, maybe getting his dick wet at some Scientology gig. I don't know. I don't know what Oliver Stone was up to, but there was a point in the early 80s where he was making, like, he wrote Conan. I don't know if y'all know that. He wrote Conan, the first Conan, the Barbarian. And I don't think people talk about that a whole lot because, he wasn't involved in the production beyond the screenwriting. But dude, give Oliver Stone a big old fucking bag of blow and give him a fucking pen and paper and just turn him the fuck loose. And I'm in. I'm buying whatever he's selling. Unfortunately, Shout Factory is selling this bitch for $36 for one goddamn movie on 4K. At least it comes with a slipcover. We're getting a flimsy piece of cardboard with this one. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. There's a pretty decent amount of new special features. I mean, Born on the 4th of July has received several Blu-ray releases over the years. So, there are probably a lot of people out there who own it on Blu-ray. It has not been released by Shout Factory before, and it has not been released on 4K before. So, this one, I don't have a lot of criticism for Shout Factory. I feel like this one, they did right. I still think $36 for one movie on 4K is a lot to fucking ask for. I mean, that's a lot. I'm over here. Earlier this week, I went to fucking Barnes & Noble. I got a brand new copy. Like, they had to go back to the back for me. They hadn't put it on a shelf yet. They had to go back to the back for me because I was like, yo, my phone says you got this movie in stock. That bitch went back to the back and brought me out 4K of Friday the 13th remake. It's got 2 cuts on it. It's at least 2 discs with a bunch of special features, both cuts for the first time in 4K. And I paid $25 for that shit. Brand new. And it's got 2 cuts of the same movie. I'll pay $25. And it came with a fucking slipcover, you cocksuckers, and a fucking book, and a fucking Greetings from Crystal Lake postcard, which is cool. I'm not going to send it to anybody, but it's actually kind of cool. Greetings from Crystal Lake. I might frame it and put it somewhere, like on my desk or something like that, as an inside joke. And people might understand it if they know. If you know, you know. And if you don't, yeah, my grandma used to live at Crystal Lake. What do you want from me? Her name was Pamela. $36 is fucking crazy. Also, Tom Cruise can't grow a mustache. I like Tom Cruise. He cannot grow a mustache. I'm sorry. We're also getting in November. Perfect timing, right? Krampus, the naughty cut. I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since this movie came out. I can't say that I feel much more interest in this film now than I did in 2015 when it was released. On the other hand, I appreciate that they're subverting the typical shit, but I like the typical Christmas shit. I like thinking of Christmas as a happy time. I have fond memories of my own childhood Christmases. I have fond memories of my own Christmases when I was like 20, getting drunk with my fam. You know what I mean? I have fond memories of Christmas. I have kids now. As I've mentioned, I want to give them happy Christmases. I want them to have happy Christmas memories. And I just don't have a lot of interest in like death and murder and demons and shit at Christmas time. That's not the kind of vibe that I'm having at Christmas time. And I can see why some folks do. I'm not going to hate on somebody for wanting that vibe at their Christmas. That's just not the vibe for me at Christmas time, okay? I will say, though, that Scream Factory is doing something that's kind of wise on their behalf. They're putting this in a Steelbook, right? So I kind of feel like they're dangling the hook in front of me a little bit. They're like, see if he's going to go for it. Is this motherfucker dumb enough to buy a movie that he's only very mildly interested in because we put it in a Steelbook? Let's figure out what kind of fucking idiot we're dealing with. It's like the box in the cartoons and it's like propped up with the stick. And there's like there's a Steelbook right in there. And I'm going to fucking go bebopping in there like, ooh, Steelbook. And then fucking knock the stick out and the box is going to shut over me and Shout Factory's going to be like, we got him, motherfucker. We got this dumb fucking hypocrite bitching about our fucking releases, talking about he didn't even fucking give a shit about Krampus. We got the motherfucker. He bought it. So, I mean, I'm just saying let's see how I'm feeling in late November, early December. Cause if I'm like doing a little Christmas shopping at Walmart, I look over and this bitch is like right there on the rack at Walmart. I might change my tune. I might become a hypocrite. All right, and here's the big one. We're at the 30-minute mark. Oh, Jesus, we're almost at 30 minutes, and I haven't even. Here we go. Here's the big one. Everybody take a deep cleansing breath. Shout Factory is releasing several sets of varying size. There's 3 of them right now, I believe, of the Dark Crystal in 4K. The cheapest set of the 3 is $90, and the most expensive is $191. It's like $101 more expensive than the cheapest set. The cheapest set being damn near $100. You can fuck hookers for less money in Las Vegas right now, and that's with inflation. This is a very run-of-the-mill 2-disc release. Might I add, if we're just talking about the movie, it's the same exact shit that Sony released in 2018. Sony put out a 4K of the Dark Crystal in 2018. This is the exact, I mean, why would they do another transfer? I can almost guarantee that is the same transfer as the previous 4K. The special features are all the same as the previous release, the Sony release from 2018, except for one. There's one new special feature, and it's a QA with Lisa Henson, Jim Henson's daughter. So, okay, awesome. We get one little nugget, one little teeny little, it's a little guy, just so they can say they did it, so they can check that box. Like, we put a new special feature, new special feature in there. Is it 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? I don't know, but it's pretty fucking short. There's a Sony release from 2018 that you can get for $30 today, okay? You don't have to fuck around with a $90 at minimum Shout release. Look, instead of putting any effort into producing new content, commentaries, features, none of that shit, Shout is instead satisfied with giving you a basic bitch, low effort 4K buried, absolutely smothered underneath a pile of useless tchotchkes. You don't need this shit. You could buy the Sony 4K of Dark Crystal today, $30, no problem. But hey, why not spend an additional $60 to get a replica of the crystal shard from the movie and some art cards for $60 fucking dollars? If you spend $120, this is the middle set between the $90 and the $191 set. There's a $120 set. You can have that replica crystal, the art cards, and an exclusive hex deck and poster. What the fuck is a hex deck? That's not a rhetorical question. I legitimately do not know what a hex deck is or why you would want one. What is the appeal to a hex deck? I don't fucking know. And it's not worth $120 for me to find out. $190, the top one, the $191 set, that gets you the crystal shard, the poster, the hex deck, the fuck else that is, I don't know, an enamel pin set. Hold on, for $191, you're bumping it from $120 to $191. That's a $71 bump. You get all the shit with the 120 set, plus for the $71 bump, you get 5 enamel pins. 5 enamel pins, they're this big, and you get a fucking coloring book. A fucking coloring book for $70? This shit has gone too fucking far. Absolutely gone too far. $70 for a fucking coloring book for grown adults to fucking color in. You're going to color in a coloring book. Do you want to know the best part about being an adult who colors in a coloring book? As an adult, it's telling your parents that you're gay. What the fuck? So at the end of the day, Shout Factory is re-releasing a 4K that you could have bought from Sony 6 years ago for $30, and they're charging you through your fucking asshole for a pile of janky garbage made in Guangzhou province. You don't think your fucking kids are going to pull that off the fucking shelf and proceed to fucking lose it immediately? Goddamn crystal shard worth $60 fucking dollars? It's a fucking coloring book. I'm losing my fucking mind. $200, almost $200 for a fucking poster, some little pins, a sticker, a fucking hex deck, whatever the fuck that is, and a coloring book. I can only see this set appealing to like diehard fans of the Dark Crystal. Like you got a tattoo of a Skeksis on your fucking ass cheek right now. and you're fucking bending over and showing it to me. You're like pulling your pants down to show me the fucking Skeksis tattooed on your fucking ass. You'll buy the fucking set. Anybody who's not a fan of Dark Crystal, they're not buying the movie at any price. They're not going to buy it for $30. They're not going to buy it for 90. They're definitely not going to buy it for 191 because they're not fans. The mid-level fans, the moderate fans, the large proportion of human beings that like Dark Crystal, but like, I don't have a Skeksis tattooed on my ass or anything, okay? The Dark Crystal is not the nickname I gave my dick, okay? I'm just a moderate fan. I grew up with the movie. I watched it as a kid. I loved it as a kid. I don't have Skeksis tattooed on me. We already bought the 4K 6 years ago. We bought that shit already because we're moderate fans. And we saw Steelbook release at Best Buy and said, okay, let's fucking do it. The only redeeming factor that Shout is doing with the Dark Crystal this month is that they're doing a Walmart exclusive Steelbook right here. And in my opinion, this art is better than the Stony Steelbook from a few years ago. I'm just going to try to leave it at that, okay? Because I could scream about the coloring book anymore, but I don't think I'm going to tread any new ground by just yelling about the coloring book some more. The other big release this month is a big-ass set, Labyrinth in 4K. It's just like the Dark Crystal one, right? Same deal. They're doing 4 releases this time. Instead of 3 with the Dark Crystal, they're doing 4 for Labyrinth. But it's all the same deal. It's all the same deal. The cheapest one is like $90. The most expensive one is like $215 or whatever. Which, come on, you want to talk about $36 being a high ask for a single movie? It's like, yeah, this is the same fucking thing, except we're going to give you a bunch of worthless plastic shit. Everything I just yelled about applies to Labyrinth as well, and I'm going to try not to. I don't think I've woken anyone up yet, so I'm going to try not to, so I can just sit down here and drink the rest of my beer in peace. I might have a fucking stroke. I might actually have burst a blood vessel in my eye. I'm going to need to check that out after this video. But look, it's a low effort re-release is what it is for Labyrinth as well as for the Dark Crystal. It's a very low effort re-release of something that you could have got in the exact same condition 6 years ago that you could buy today in the exact same condition movie only for 28, $30. I mean, it's just filled with a bunch of shit that is just going to sit on your shelf and take up space and collect dust until you die. And then your family has to decide what to do with all of your useless shit that you collected over the last 40 years. And with any luck, your kids will be able to hawk this shit on eBay for beer money that they definitely will not even drink in your honor because they're just going to fucking judge you for having a $70 fucking coloring book. Your fucking children are going to find that, all right? Do yourself a fucking favor, okay? Have some goddamn self-respect and just spend that $70 on fucking porn. And get the weirdest porn you can find from the internet, magazines. Try to find vintage 80s porn, black ass, tits and shit, German piss magazines, whatever you can fucking find. Put all of that in a fucking drawer and fucking one of those plastic Rubbermaid, slide it underneath your bed and just leave it there. And then when you die, instead of your kids finding a $70 coloring book, at least they can fucking go through your shit. And when they find all your weird German piss fetish magazines underneath your bed, then your black ass, black tail, whatever the fuck magazines, throw a National Geographic in there too, just for good measure. But what I'm saying is when they find all your fucking weird porn, at least they'll say, well, you know, okay, Dad was into some weird shit, but it's not a fucking coloring book. Dad didn't fucking come home from work his fucking ass off to provide a life for us and color. He did what a fucking normal person does. He fucking comes home and he fucking pounds off, and that's how he fucking relieves his stress after a long day, not by fucking coloring while fucking listening to, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Anyway, we're getting a Walmart Steelbook of this one too, so fantastic. Dragon the Bruce Lee story is coming to 4K. This is a nostalgic film for me because I remember being a budding fan of Bruce Lee circa 1993 when this movie was released. I had just seen Enter the Dragon on TBS one Saturday afternoon. I was like, fuck, man, I want to learn some Kung Fu. This motherfucker knows what's up. Plus, they were having like mad sex with Chinese broads in the 80s or the 70s. I shouldn't have said 80s, 70s. I mean, maybe they were doing it with them in the 80s too. I hope they were. But like in the set, they were like just bringing them out. They're just like, hey, here's 8 Chinese bitches. You want to pick one? And fucking homeboy is like, Pick one? I'm gonna take 4 of these bitches. Shit. So look, if I'm honest, I want to buy Dragon the Bruce Lee story on 4K. But as I have said a few times during this video, this is a $36 4K for a single film, one movie, and they want almost 40 bucks. And you could take that 40 bucks, let me tell you. You could go take that 40 bucks to Barnes and Noble when they're doing 50% off Arrows. I mean, you could get for that 40 bucks would get you one of these like big ass box sets like American Gigolo. And I think American Gigolo is like $35, maybe even $30 during the fucking sale. I just bought the Nico Masteriakis box set of 6 films, 6 movies from Arrow, from Barnes and Noble during that 50% off thing. I paid, I paid $50 for that. $50. And Shout wants 36 for one fucking movie. Granted, the 6 Nico Masteriakis films are all Blu-ray releases, so it's not exactly like an apples to apples comparison. But look, I'm getting 6 high definition films from Arrow in a boutique set with crammed with special features and a book with extra writings and shit for $50 because I shopped smartly. And they want this kind of money for one movie and nothing else. You don't get like a nice packaging. Vinegar Syndrome will give you a nice packaging. Vinegar Syndrome will fucking pack up a movie and it's nothing but fucking commercials, and you will pay $35 for it because it's like, wow, look at the box on this. It's embossed. You know, they're not even doing that. We're getting a Escape from New York 4K Steelbook. If you don't already own this film, I don't know how do you not already own this film? Shout Factory did what Shout Factory does. This is the Shout Factory vicious cycle. Release a movie on Blu-ray, standard Blu-ray. Wait a year, maybe 2, release it on a Blu-ray Steelbook. They did that with this movie. Then wait a few years, let that Steelbook kind of go out of print, become hard to get. People are kind of craving Escape from New York, and then release the standard 4K. Then wait a year or 2, let a little time go by, release the 4K Steelbook. Blu-ray Steelbook, 4K Steelbook. That is the Shout family motto. Boom, 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 boom. That's how they get you. So I don't know how you don't already own this film, but if you don't already own this film, here's an opportunity to get a 4K Steelbook. I mean, the cover art is striking. It doesn't scream Escape from New York to me, but it's striking at least. It's kind of like, I like the colors. It's bold. Like, I don't mind looking at it. It's not a bad, like, it would be a cool poster on the wall or whatever. I wouldn't complain. It's a John Carpenter classic. If you don't own this shit already, go buy it in shame, okay? Hang your head low. You're a piece of shit for not owning this movie already. I want you to know that. But make it right, okay? There is redemption available. You're not Hitler. You're just a piece of shit who didn't buy a classic John Carpenter film that's been released 18 goddamn times in the last 7 years by Shout Factory. Finally, this is going long and my beer is getting warm. I'm sorry, guys. I'm paying the price with warm beer. Golden Harvest Supernatural Shockers coming out on Blu-ray set. This is another, like, they're asking $85 for this. Still cheaper than the cheapest fucking Dark Crystal box. Suck my dick from the back. Yeah, they want $85, but this box set is all movie. There's no stupid plastic shit to get lost or for your kids to fuck with and get lost or break or someone steps on in the middle of the night. Fuck all that, right? It's all movie. It's $85, but there's 6 films in this set. So that's just over $14 per film for Blu-rays. That's not too bad. It's not quite the value I got with my $50 for 6 films on Blu-ray Nico Masteriakis set. I'm just saying. But it's still a pretty decent value because you're, like I said, you're paying $14 per movie. And look at the cover. They know what I like. Look at the middle of that cover. Look at the center, the central image. Look right there in the middle. It stands out. They stand out. I should say they stand out, not it. They stand out, and they know what I like, okay? You put a little sexy on the cover, and that helps to balance out. They're calling it Supernatural Shockers, so you think it's like, okay, it's like horror movies. It's really, they're kind of TNA. We're talking erotic ghost story part 1, 2, and 3. Sex and Zen. So I mean, there's some stuff in here. It's a little category 3 here and there. So like, yeah, it's 6 movies. They're even throwing in 2 of the films have extended cuts. So that's like you're definitely getting a little bit more than 6 movies with the extended cuts. Each film has a commentary. So there's actual fucking value here. So I know Shout Factory is still capable of providing value instead of just re-releasing the same movie in slightly different formats or with slightly different packaging, or releasing a low effort, no effort release for fucking Scream Factory with a bunch of janky Chinese shit, and they want you to pay them $191 for it. Fuck that shit. So at least with this, you're getting movies and you're getting new features and you're getting like, this is what we want. This is what the money goes for. And sure, feel free to put it in nice packaging like Vinegar Syndrome does. Do you think I'm going to be upset watching Daryl or Cloak and Dagger or fucking Navy SEALs or Roadhouse or whatever I've got in those nice packages? Like, you're not upset when a movie that you like gets nice packaging, right? Packaging doesn't hurt. It puts a nice presentation on a film that you already like. Okay, I'm with that. But like I don't need a fucking replica dildo when I buy Requiem for a Dream. I don't need you guys to include a double-headed dong. All right, because I got 5 of them upstairs in my bedside drawer. You don't think I already got double-ended dongs? Please. How do you think I'm making kids in this bitch? I got double-ended dongs. This is what it is. This is my longest video ever, but this was a lot of releases, and honestly, I just had to get that off my chest with the Dark Crystal. So really, I just want to say I'm sorry on behalf of me for ranting like a motherfucker, on behalf of Shout for asking outrageous sums of money for a single film and some fucking janky plastic shit and a hex deck, whatever that is. I'm not even going to bother Googling it. I'm going to drink another beer and I'm going to try to enjoy what's left of the evening without fucking even saying the word hex deck again. So just, do you agree with me for being upset? Are you upset as well? Was I able to rouse any emotion in you? Let me know how you feel. Let me know what's in your heart. Give me your emotional whatever, you know, post it in the fucking replies down there. Fucking hit me in your DMs. We can have a private conversation. I don't give a fuck. Send me your nudes. I don't give a shit. Are you excited about cramming more shit on your shelves for $200? Are you excited about paying $200 so you could throw some fucking glass, whatever, crystal shit on your fucking shelf? I want to hear from you too. I want to hear your unique perspective. Maybe you love the Dark Crystal way more than anybody I've ever met. I don't know. Let me know down below, you dirty hoe. In the meantime, I'm going to drink the rest of this warm beer. Peace, motherfuckers.